by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
The governor of Virginia is reportedly weighing his options amid calls from both sides of the aisle to step down. He's being accused of appearing in a racist yearbook photo, and the controversy doesn't end there. I'm Mark Liverman with more on how the man who could replace the governor faces allegations of his own.
It's that time of year again. I'm Medeiros Babb, and coming up I give you a recap of the State of the City address.
6:30 on this Tuesday. Chair Lehman, Missy O'Malley with you. We'll have that from Medeiros in a moment. Meantime, our top national story this half hour. The governor of Virginia reportedly weighing his options amid calls from both sides of the aisle to step down. This after being accused of appearing in a racist yearbook photo.
Now, the man who could end up replacing him is facing a misconduct allegation of his own, and one that dates back decades. CBS's News' Mark Liverman has our story.
My conclusion that I am not the person in that photo.
The photo Governor Ralph Northam is referring to shows a man in blackface. Another person can be seen dressed as a member of the Ku Klux Klan. The image resurfaced last week after first appearing in Northam's 1984 medical school yearbook page. On Friday, Northam apologized for the photo. Then, a day later, he denied being in it and refused to step down as governor amidst protests.
But what we are saying is his actions in his past and to continue to stand for it as our governor is not welcome.
He's lost the moral authority to continue to govern.
Both Democrats and Republicans have been calling for the governor's swift departure.
Regardless of the veracity of the photograph, the governor's lost the confidence of the people and cannot effectively govern.
Northam met with his cabinet and senior staff yesterday to hear their assessment of whether it was feasible for him to stay in office. That's according to several published reports. This as the lieutenant governor in line to replace Northam faces allegations of his own. Justin Fairfax denies accusations he sexually assaulted a woman at the Democratic National Convention back in 2004. Those allegations are being reported by the same website that exposed Northam's yearbook.
Obviously, you don't have to be a political genius to understand that this is a complete smear.
Fairfax says the encounter was consensual. Mark Liverman, CBS News.
Now, Governor Northam, while denying being in that controversial photo, did apologize for once darkening his skin, dressed as Michael Jackson for a dance contest in 1984. President Trump, meantime, is also weighing in on all of this, and a counselor to the president as well, Kellyanne Conway, says that President Trump thinks the allegations for Northam are unforgivable.
6:32 now. Meteorologist Matt Elwell joins us on this Meteorologist Appreciation Day.
Yeah.
We do appreciate the work you do. We don't always show it. In fact, sometimes we do just the opposite.
We appreciate it.
I do want to point out I'm wearing my CBM, that's the seal that I have through the AMS. We're celebrating 100 years
That's
for the
phenomenal.
AMS. So in appreciation.
I'm going to brag on you just a little bit. That little seal that you carry doesn't, they don't just give those away, folks. You have to work very hard to get one of those, and darn few people in the state of Montana actually have them, Matt Elwell.
I don't think there's any others.
I wanted you to say it because I wanted it.
Wow.
Congratulations for that, too.
So.
That just, folks, tells you how lucky we are. You should appreciate our weather guy, too.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Everyone send us cookies and coffee.
Yeah.
Or Matt, I mean Matt. He loves them.
You know I'll share. People may not appreciate me much after you see some of these early morning temperatures. Don't blame the messenger, is what it comes down to. Temperatures are below zero this morning. The wind chills, in some cases, 20 below. Generally, we're going to be dealing with very bitter temperatures with scattered snow showers. We do have some slick road conditions out there after picking up some light snow overnight. We'll see scattered bands of snow through the day. We're going to break down your complete forecast from outside coming up here in just a few minutes.
Nobody else in this state has that seal.
Yeah, nobody else.
I just wanted to say that.
Until after the show when
we have them.
Chet takes the
we
pin
have
off
them,
his
and
jacket
you do too.
and
There
you
you
put
go.
it on yours. Yeah.
No, I don't have anything yet.
That's awesome. Congrats, Matt. We do appreciate you. And we're staying in some local news here for you now. Last night, Mayor Cindy Andrus gave the Bozeman's State of the City address.
MTN's Medeiros Babb was at City Hall for the speech and has our report.
Mayor Cindy Andrus started off the State of the City address by recognizing the achievements the city has made, including improving communication by hiring the first ever communication coordinator, as well as making more information available on the city's website. Andrus also highlighted the pass of the Public Safety Center bond by 60% of the voters. but she did admit the delay has caused a problem. Andrus said it is unfortunate that one man is causing the project to fall behind, but she is confident the Public Safety Center will finish not only on time, but on budget. For every month the project is delayed, the cost rises by $200,000, of which won't come from taxpayers, but rather will have to be made up through the city's budget or cuts to the project. Moving forward, Andrus talked about many problems she would like to tackle this year, including adding more art around town, the future of the local option sales tax, water conservation, and the elephant in the room, affordable housing. Andrus said the wicked issue of affordable housing makes many residents have to spend 30% or more of income on rent. She says this is not only a crisis, but an actual countrywide epidemic. She asked the city to no longer nibble around the edges of the problem, but make a big step. That step that she is wanting to take is asking for help from the commission in developing a local housing trust fund sooner than later. In Bozeman, Medeiros Babb, MTN News.
Shifting gears now at 6:35, the city of Butte wants feedback from people living and working in the Uptown area. Residents and business owners are being asked to participate in an online survey to give feedback on the future of Uptown business and the county's growth policy report that's due out this year. People can take the survey at surveymonkey.com.
And Montana's only congressman, Republican Greg Gianforte, addressed the Montana legislature Monday in Helena.
At the same time, Democratic state lawmakers introduced a bill that takes an indirect swipe at the congressman. The bill, sponsored by Representative Tom Woods of Bozeman, would make it a crime in Montana to assault a member of the press with a fine of up to $5,000. Congressman Gianforte pleaded guilty in 2017 to assaulting a reporter in Bozeman on the eve of his initial election. But the congressman made no mention of the bill as he spoke in the Montana House chamber. He focused on what he called a growing economy in the nation, thanks to the pro-growth policies of Republicans and the Trump administration.
Government does not create prosperity. The private sector does. Government should and must create an environment where businesses can grow and thrive. We must continue working to get government out of the way so that all Montanans and Americans can prosper again.
Now, Congressman Gianforte also said he plans to focus on improving rural broadband access here in the Treasure State.
And here's a story we've been following for a while. It's a disease making headlines, a rare polio-like illness that affects your nervous system.
And while it mostly affects young children, all 3 confirmed cases of acute flaccid myelitis, or AFM, in Montana, including a case in Bozeman, are in adults. Now, MTN's Samantha Sullivan introduces us to a Billings woman now fighting to take back her life.
Imagine you go to the doctor with what you believe to be a common cold. Fast forward 7 months and you're here, living in a nursing home, relearning to walk, going through intensive physical therapy for hours every day because your limbs just stopped working and doctors can't tell you why.
They say, like, God only gives you what you can handle. That's for sure. Sometimes I just feel like giving up. But I'm like, no, I can't give up. 'Cause I want to be able to go back to my apartment, you know? Go back to my old life.
April Martin was admitted to the hospital in early August after what first seemed like a cold or the flu just continued to get worse. After a full night in the ER, April's mom, Tony, went home to get some rest. When she got back the next morning, she was horrified.
To me, it looked like she had had a stroke. Her head was laying over to the side, and she couldn't open her eyes, and her speech was slurred. With her speech slurred, she said, "What's wrong with my body?" And I said, "I don't know." And she said, "Don't leave me, Mom." And I said, "I'm not going to leave you." And so I didn't.
April had already been through a lot in her 32 years. She was diagnosed with diabetes at the age of 2. She beat cancer at 27. Now she was getting a tracheotomy. She was put on a ventilator and was given a feeding tube to help doctors regulate her blood sugar. But despite numerous tests, doctors were not sure what was happening to April.
Why can't they tell me what's wrong? Why can't they have a diagnosis?
A disease not seen in Montana since 2015, now believed to be back, this time in the south central part of the state.
I had not seen the news about this polio-like virus called acute flaccid myelitis.
Nationwide, health experts are keeping an eye on the polio-like illness that has left dozens sick across the nation.
Instantly when I watched that, I knew right then, that's what my daughter has. It's AFM.
AFM is a virus-fueled neurological condition. It affects the spinal cord's gray matter and can cause paralysis. But it would be 7 long months before that positive diagnosis was made.
I would show them videos. This is it. Do you see this? You got to try this. This is what we need to do. And I'm trying to educate everybody as I'm trying to learn everything too at the same time, because I want the best help for her.
Doctors are still unsure what exactly causes it. In the last year, there were just over 150 confirmed cases. The chances of getting AFM, just 1 in 1 million.
It sucks. Because you're trying to explain to them what it is, and they're like, what?
Yeah, they don't know.
What is it? It's hard.
April was eventually moved out of the hospital to advanced care and finally, at the end of October, to Aspen Meadows Nursing Home. There, she receives around-the-clock care and both physical and occupational therapy.
I would say you just started walking, what, in the last month?
Yeah.
Tony says it's been a long road, but she hopes April's story will help families in the future. In Billings, Samantha Sullivan, MTN News.
Unfortunately, now Tony says the next battle for April's journey will be next month. That's when insurance will stop covering her care at the nursing home.
Unbelievable. Tony has set up a GoFundMe page to help with the cost of nursing care and April's physical therapy, and you can find that link on our websites. What an incredible young woman.
Thank you to April for sharing her story with us.
She's been through so much.
And the advocacy that Tony gave to her, that was crucial in all of this. Lesson for all of us.
And thank you for Samantha for sharing that
Absolutely.
story. Just wild. Yeah. It is time for a quick break. Here is a look ahead on Montana this morning, as well as CBS this morning.
They're machines that can learn new skills. I'm Chris Martinez with how teachable robots could revolutionize the way we live.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS this morning, President Trump takes the biggest stage in Washington for his State of the Union address. The message he wants to get across with another government funding deadline looming. And Jill Schlesinger is here with how you can avoid the most common and biggest money mistakes. Plus, 3 ways to gain financial control of your life. See you at 7.